Okay.
So hi, I'm Marvin Sunday. I am a developer and researcher. So
Yeah.
I'm participating in this Spartan Bounty for
Yeah.
founders in Nigeria, and I wanted to have conversations with founder, every founder in the supporting Nigeria ecosystem. The aim is to have enough of information to be able to um, communicate or properly discuss your product. So I have here with me Tochi, the founder of Pash Cash. So hi Tochi, what's up? Please
Hi.
introduce yourself.
Thank you. Thank you, Marvin. My name is Tochi. Yeah, I happen to be the founder of Badge, and I'm a developer like yourself, more focused on consumer-facing products. And since I've been building in the Web3 space, I've been super focused on Solana. And this is my second attempt at building at something good in the space, and I'm happy to be on your being interviewed by you, and it's a pleasure, man.
Yeah, thanks. So we're gonna be dropping a couple of questions. So I'll just start right quick, right? So my first question is, what specific user behavior or pain point led you to build this product? So like describe
Um,
the user and their habits and how do you able to track them that led to you building the product. Thank you.
the need for this product was from my own personal experience, where um, you where I get to use Web3 products every time. You get always on one either Phantom or Souffle or Backpack. But every time I need to convert this money to cash, it feels unnatural. You get feels
Yeah,
like you need like an extra app to do something that should be easy. And most times, for you to do that with a good rate, you need an app that's where you need to get paired with a merchant. And for some unnecessary reasons, you're interacting with someone who you should never be interacting with, that is the merchant. So I don't like that experience. Most of last year, anytime I want to off-ramp, I just send the money to a friend who will just off-ramp via Bybit or whatever, and they give me the money. That was after Binance got banned. So I've never liked the conventional P2P system. And the other option, which would be using mobile apps of conventional off ramping apps that we have in this space, is that you need to visit those platforms every time you get. Maybe I'm super lazy that I noticed it as a problem. You get, I needed just something that is default to existing wallets I know you get. So first of all, I don't like the idea of having to transfer to another of my wallets on another platform before I can convert it to cash. You get. So that led me to take an anti wallet pattern when it comes to off ramp and on ramp. If you notice, we don't have a wallet system
yeah,
in
I noticed.
in Patch.
Yeah, I
We don't
noticed.
want users, yeah, we don't want users depositing their money there before converting it. No, we just want from your software straight to your bank account. So, so when I thought about that, before I thought about that, I've already played around with tools, so I knew it was possible. Um, I know most times I don't know why solutions like that was not common practice in this space, and maybe because most entrepreneurs they see it, or most build founders they see um, solving these problems from the very conventional way of wallet and all. So me, I saw it as a protocol that needs to be existing. You get more
Yeah,
like a complementary protocol to the Solana protocol itself. You get, and when I first of all asked for validation from a couple of people, they were cool with it, and then I built it, and then pushed it out for other people to use. So that's how that's how that's how I got validation for the product, pushed it out, people started using it. Then I knew that, oh, it's a product that people actually want.
Okay, so wow, that's great. So you've literally talked about our okay. So that's cool. I understand
Yeah.
that I actually experience that problem myself whenever I want to make off ramp my money.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, whenever I want to off ramp my money, so usually like I move money from my wallet, send it to Bybit. It's really really sketchy, but I don't really have much of a choice. But I think
Yeah.
cash can actually has been nice. Actually, it has been nice, literally. Yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah.
um, I know you say something about this, but I wanted to let's hit on it again. How did you validate this problem was worth solving? Like, what were the points that you got that made you say, "Oh, this thing is actually worth solving in the long run"? And also, what assumptions while you are trying to validate this idea that you had to anymore? And is that kind of like a justification? Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, let me put all my devices on silent.
Okay.
I've already put on do not disturb, but the notification keeps coming into
Okay.
my PC. Yeah, I don't know how to off this thing. Oh,
You could
pardon me. I'm sorry.
no problem.
Yeah. The question you asked, yeah, which is
How did you validate
how
this
I got.
validation?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
also,
So
what
yeah.
assumptions about Nigerian user that you had to unlearn in the process?
Okay. First of all, I think users around the world are fundamentally the same when it comes to convenience. You get.
Okay.
I don't think Nigerians want easier solutions than US users, or Ghana users want a simpler solution. I think across the globe there's a common factor, which is a product that works and a product that is easy. You get.
Okay.
I believe everybody wants the same thing fundamentally. You get. It's just that the way you market it across these different markets are very different. You get.
Mm-hmm.
So the first human need, which I know above any every other thing, is convenience.
Mm-hmm.
Um, People want convenience way better than rates. You get, especially when you're dealing with small chunks of little transactions like less than $100. You get, people will prioritize convenience first, and
Mm-hmm.
that's why we went with that and focused on microtransactions first. We believe if you do $10 today, you will do $1,000 tomorrow. You get, the
Yeah.
most important thing is to get those users logged in. So we prioritize um, um, on convenience. So when we knew the stick was, when we knew that we know our transaction is not as fast as most platforms. You get,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to the between the moment when you do your deposit and when you receive your money. Some people are already doing 30 seconds, yeah, in transaction speed. We were doing 2 to 3 minutes to 5 minutes. You get.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one thing we tried to innovate around is, the speed between when you think about off ramping and when you actually execute off ramping. The off ramp, when you actually execute the action to off ramp, there's
Mm-hmm.
always this resistance. For example, let's say you need money, you have 100 to in your wallet, but the moment you think about it and when you eventually transfer to Bybit and actually pay with a merchant, you
Mm-hmm.
first of all you actually most times you actually procrastinate first because
It's stressful,
the
man.
whole process
It's very very
is,
stressful.
yeah, it's very stressful. So that's the time we are more concerned about shortening. You get, the time you think about it and the time you actually execute it. That's the time we want to actually shorten. So we shortened it, and we saw that we saw that that's the main pain point. Not even the speed of transaction. That's the main pain point. So First time when we knew that the product worked was when our accounts got frozen, and then we told our users to that they should be patient with us for 24 hours, that we'll be back. There was this complaint, like they felt bad about it, and before 20 that same evening, people were still asking us if we are back. We say, "Oh, we told you guys 24 hours." So it showed us that they actually needed our product, and as early as 6 a.m. they had the option of using their former off ramping options, but some people waited till the next day so that I'll be back so that they can continue off ramping. So it dawned on us that, oh, even though there are a lot of off ramping solutions in the market, there's now a preferred solution among our users. You get.
Yeah.
So for us, we know we don't even have like all the edge to compete, but we need to find a way to make sure that even in the midst of like two, three
Mhm.
options to offer. Yeah, our own should always be the easiest when it comes to offering. And
Yeah.
once when that incident of our account got frozen, people waiting for us to resume transactions so that they can offer them. That's the moment we knew, okay, we've struck good with our products.
Okay.
Yeah,
That sounds like an awesome point to take, and I really really appreciate that. So, the next question is, I know you are building kind of like a blockchain app, right? But you are making it feel as if it's a simple fintech type of shit. And
yeah,
so my own question is, how do you achieve that, right? And
yeah.
what's the value proposition that actually resonates with these users who don't really care about the decentralization, this and that? So, what is the value proposition you give them, and how do you assure that this thing doesn't look all Web3? It looks more like a simple fintech app that you send money to, and at the end of the day, you receive your fiat.
Okay, I think most times a lot of developers are heavy on Web 2 or Web 3 labels just to feel relevant. Yeah,
Okay.
it's just like you trying to buy electricity, and the seller is super hyped that this nuclear energy, or like the source of this electricity is nuclear. Nobody gives a fuck. You get.
Hmm.
The real users just want to use the electricity to power their TV, boil water, or power their car. You get.
Okay.
In the real sense, nobody really cares if it's Web 2 or Web 3. And the most important thing is your transaction secured. You get. Do they? Do you will you deliver on what you promise? Nobody really cares. So it does not matter to me if my product looks like Web 2 or Web 1. You get. What I'm building is products that people, normal human being with with good enough IQ can use. You get.
Okay.
I the product as it is now, it's more convenient for Web 3 folks, but we still want to make it much easier so that we don't have to start explaining to more users that this is how to navigate around it. For example, right now, you need to link your wallet, and we want to remove the whole process of linking your wallet with a different option of giving you an address for each of your bank accounts. You get that way. More people, let's say someone like my mom now, she now have after despite having her own bank account, if she comes on page, she gets an address, and we also want to slap a domain name to that address so that my mom now, if I'm she can have if I'm adult patch dot so you get that way. What that serves for her, it's more like a global address where anybody around the world who has access to Sue can send her money. You get it
Hmm.
doesn't matter if the person is in North Korea or Taiwan or whatever, wherever. That person can send money straight to her bank account. So to her, it's more like a global address, bank
Address
account you get,
that
and
can
she doesn't even. You said.
so it's just like a global address that will just mainly off-ramp the money to our bank account.
Exactly, yeah. So she does not need to know the concept of off ramping and on ramping. She just knows that she received money via this seamless solution from abroad. You get. So, and one way we're going about it is we don't want to even bring the whole idea of multi chain. You get, especially for our consumers. Maybe businesses we would provide, we might extend our services to other chains, but on the consumer end. There's no point explaining to my mom that there's a difference between Solana and Ethereum. You get, and you know the risk you get once it's a different chain, the same address, your money is gone. Yeah.
It's kind of very,
So
very stringent in that way. If I would contribute there, it's a stringent
yeah,
process. Yeah,
yeah, it's a problem that nobody needs to introduce to anybody.
yeah.
So
It's kind of like a bottleneck problem. I think
yeah,
focusing on one particular chain solves a lot of problem. What you just need is just to ensure that that chain is seamless and it's fast and it's actually composable for your users. Actually, I think that's
yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
So we would. So once we get that, once we get our solution very stable on Solana
Mhm. Hello.
for bridges these days, anybody who wants our services extended to their chain, it's just to bridge the assets. That's all.
Yeah, I think so. So, wow. So I don't know. I don't think I need to ask you any question about you having to deliberately remove crypto jargons from your interface, or is it that do you have it? How do you solve that? Do you remove crypto jargons deliberately from your platform,
Okay,
and
to
how do
begin with,
they benefit you using without using benefit? How does that? How do you explain benefits to people that don't really care about these crypto mantras? How do you explain?
okay, it's going to happen like slow and steady. It's not like a total rip-off you get.
Okay,
uh, as we execute, as we write, we get to understand that, oh, this thing that we call social word can be called this other word you get.
okay,
It's more like discovering the process you get.
okay,
But one way we are even trying to eliminate the whole too many crypto jargon is to we contracted someone who is handling our branding, and the person is more of a web two person you get. It's even learning web three you get. So you can tell from our designs that will be coming up that this heavy on web two you get.
hmm,
You want to that web three scale around the product you get.
yeah,
So the kind of people you're getting involved in the project to more like bring their own experience, their own heavy web two experience is going to influence that. So I know if I bring like the conventional web three designer, before you know the person is putting coin that is flying here, slapping Solana and Ethereum here and there and doing like wormhole.
yeah,
You get.
yeah, 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 yeah. I
So
think,
it's that cool, chill web. In fact, our product, the new design, just heads up, the new design is not even looking too fintechy. You get. It's going to be more relaxed and chilled. We need to give people more confidence and make them relax when using our product.
yeah, that's true. So I know you hinted earlier that you do not want a system where somebody has to deposit money in another platform to be able to use
Yeah,
that product. So I will consider that is more of like a withdrawal first approach where you
yeah,
prioritize the system where the users can just withdraw their money directly to whatever thing they want to do, which for your case is a their bank accounts immediately. So I wanted to know that why do you prioritize this approach? One, and how does this particular prioritization reflect your understanding of Nigerian users' psychology around money and trust?
Okay. The thing is this, yeah. First, the withdrawal approach where there's no need for deposits is where you just withdraw straight is. For me, it's more of an engineering thing. Yeah, I don't
Hmm.
want to spend resources protecting people's wallets on our platform. You
Okay.
get. So eliminating that is like reducing the workload by half. You get. And
Hmm.
then, secondly, the goal was to reduce, to leverage existing technology rather than trying to build or innovate. So everybody have their own secure wallets that they trust. You get. I don't
Okay.
want to introduce them to another place where they deposit money. You get. I
Okay.
just want to introduce them to a pipeline that does the routing of money straight to their bank accounts. So that way, they trust that their money is really going to stay in this system for like let's say max 5 minutes, and then when we have everything set up properly, less than a minute. So there's little fear you get. The
Okay.
money comes in and comes out. So it builds more confidence as they use it by the day you get. So that's one. Um, so if one thing with confidence and trust, with especially in a system like this, you don't buy trust, you don't influence trust. Trust is only gained over time. You get.
Okay.
You, bringing Davido on your product will not boost the trust. It will only boost awareness. It will not necessarily make significant user increase. You get, especially for an early product. Influencers will not do much with trust. You get.
Yeah.
Um, what will fix trust is you using the product day in day out, and it's doing what it says it's to do. You get. Um, so, so the trust will build from your $1 first, your $10, your $100, and over time, it feels natural to you. You get.
Yeah.
So yeah. So for me, building a product like this, like I said, there have been products like this that exist, and the withdraw eliminating wallets is trying to avoid what Patricia did. You get. There's
Yeah.
no point depositing your money with us. You get in the first place. Yeah. So there's no chance of we doing anything funny with your money. So you trust Souffle, use it. You trust Fuse, use it. Our product will just make you moving your money out of those wallets safe and easy.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Think that
that's a,
think that's awesome. Think that's awesome.
yeah.
So how do you your users actually discover your product and start using it? So
Okay, most it was after Hakao, sorry, after Super Team Village. Yeah,
yeah,
that was when it
Startup
became
Village.
popular. Yeah, I tried to push the product myself. It didn't make much progress. Those who registered a lot kept on using the product because it actually solved the problem. So that was what kept us going. So at that time, we were getting like I think 10 to 20 transactions a day, which
Okay.
was to us, I really appreciate it. It's a good number, but at some point we dropped to like 3 transactions before Hacker hosted like few days. Our merchant was misbehaving. Then after when we won at Hacker, sorry, Solana Village, yeah,
Yeah.
uh, it brought more awareness, and from the 5 3 transaction we're having that period, we just skyrocketed to like 10 20, and then it became constant. Then when after the whole South African trip, yeah, when we came back, it kept increasing. Then we started touching 30 transactions, and then one thing that really helped was the Super Team Content Guild. They were really instrumental. Without anyone reaching out to me, they just agreed to run a 1 week promotion for us, and that tripled our user base from like 200 users, 200 and something users to over 600 users, and that alone was like the tipping point for us. Like it just nudged us, it made a lot of difference. So I'm already working to work with them again with our V2, which would not require the whole linking of wallets, so that we can repeat the same thing and see how many users we can get. Right now we're at 1,000, over 1,000 users. I believe I believe working with them, and it's going to make a lot of difference. And then next, another thing was using our referral program. We try to make sure that everybody joined through a referral. That way, we have less random people joining the project since we are still testing. That way, anybody who is referring you is also showing you how to use the product, like link your wallet, your transaction comes into the pool, you see the transaction. So all those learning process is done by somebody who has already used the product.
Okay.
And then yeah, so the trust the person has gets transferred to the new user. So that's one way we've been able to secure new users to get into the space. Yeah.
Okay. Wow, I think that's great. So, um, no need to ask what the regular user journey looks like because we already know how off-ramp works. So, how do you acquire users
Yeah,
without traditional crypto marketing? Like, how do you guys do that? I know off-ramping is more of a crypto thing than a Web2 thing. So, my own
yeah.
question is basically, how do you acquire normal, non crypto
Uh,
users without normal crypto marketing channels, and what's your growth tactics for the Nigerian context for that?
okay. Um, wait, just give me 1 minute here.
Okay.
Try that. Yeah. So you're with me, yeah?
Yeah. I'm with you.
Okay. So the way we're going about it is to first. Right now, we're not marketing to non-crypto users. Yeah,
Okay.
we want to. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So first we want to build utility for them first before we bring them on board.
Okay.
That's where the V2 comes in. You get more.
Yeah.
The V2 is giving their bank accounts like a global presence. You get.
Okay.
So yeah. So you don't market to people you're not giving value to. You get. So right now you're just giving value to people. So I'm trying to bring value to people who who already own token. Those are the only people we can market to. You get at the moment.
Okay.
You get. Yeah. So if this is the first time of holding token, our product is going to be like the best solution for you and
Okay.
all. So
Yeah.
so we're working, and then when we get V2 ready, um, we're going to be pushing to people who want to receive money from anywhere around the world. You get. Let's say you're interacting with someone in US and the person has access to crypto, wants to send you money. You're not like a crypto savvy person, but you need your money in your bank account. Page is going to bring like the um, global solution for you. And then once you start being operational in more countries, we will be like, I believe we'll be like a default global transaction platform. You get, if everybody has like a global representation of their bank accounts, we will find a way to make sure that from your bank account you on ramp and the money you're on ramping is going straight to someone's global um, bank account. You get, and then it gets down to their local bank account. So it's the more presence we try to establish, the more of a global payment solution we're going to be building like down the road, and that's when of advertising to Web2 folks will come. So it's going to be utility first before trying to market to them. Else, it's going to be like a waste of time. That's what I think.
Okay. So users, I know users do stick around even though they don't like tweeting or interacting on chain. So or the normal Twitter interaction. So my question is, how do you measure the engagement and build trust with users that are skeptical of new financial products? So how do you um um measure let's just talk about engage. How do you build trust with somebody who probably is afraid of using new off-ramp products, right? But they have been
Yeah.
using Bybit and the rest. How do you guys take approaches to convince them to that Page is a better option, actually?
Oh, okay, just give me 1 minute, please. Let me. Somebody's supposed to deliver something to me.
Okay.
Just 1 minute.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So trying to get the question properly.
So
Question
like,
was around.
how do you measure your engagement, or more like,
Yeah.
let's like say, how do you build trust? How do you communicate with people who
Okay.
who do not who are skeptical about new off-ramp products, right?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's why personally I think it's important to start small, you get, rather than just go wide about marketing, because
Okay.
if you go wide about it, you attract people way too early, and if first impression does not kill it, you get, it's going to kill their interest for the product, you get.
Okay.
So yeah. So what we're doing, that's why we started with referral. I'm not sure if it's the right thing to do, but that's the part we're going with first, so that like I said, our existing users trust gets transferred to the new user we get. So it's going to be like a low cost of acquiring trust with users. And we try to be open with our users. You get, users complain, we interact with them directly to solve the problem instead of using AI and bots. You
Okay.
get, nobody likes to interact with bots. So that's one way. Another thing is to constantly being in their face directly instead of, which is by doxing. You get,
Mm-hmm.
it, there's no point keeping privacy these days. When you want to sell on tree, everybody needs to. You need a face to the product. So almost everyone on the team tries to put their face to the product. You get.
Yeah.
If you come on Telegram, if you come on our Telegram channel, everybody knows who to ask a question when there's a problem. And if you're a newbie, once you just drop a question, somebody else in the community is answering you. When you know that, oh, like a normal person in the community is answering you, that's to tell you that, oh, come on, it seems like everybody here is relaxed. You get, you've seen a situation where someone complains about late transaction and everybody's like, oh, no worry, no worry, Kene go settle the transaction. Like almost everybody now knows Kene as person as the merchant that settles transactions. So with that level of openness, it brings a lot of, it encourages trust in the space. So there's no need going to being too official for a product that you're just starting. You get, so
Yes.
trying to keep things casual builds trust. I think, yeah, from my personal experience, keeping things casual and cool, especially for the when you're very very early, keeps things builds trust with the users.
Yeah. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
So, what role does word of mouth play in your growth, and how do you encourage organic sharing and community-led
Okay.
growth using word of mouth?
Yeah, word of mouth. I'm sure you know you build products too. You know how
Yeah,
important it is that your friends refer their friends. You get,
yeah, exactly. I know.
yeah, yeah. So it's um we've noticed it from our level of retention. You get, yesterday we have currently have about 1,000 or 1,100 users. You
Okay,
get at the moment. It's a small number, yeah. Well, as at yesterday, we had exactly 110 transactions. That is about 10% of our users
users.
using our products on a single day. So, but that's like an edge case because it barely happens. But yesterday it did happen.
Okay,
On a very bad day, we have 40 transactions. You get, that's 4% of our users. So
okay,
that's already a high level retention
okay,
from number of users, and that's because from the very first day we did the whole referral thing. So we
okay.
don't have a system where a random person is joining and he gets angry and then he leaves. It's more often of somebody is referring you, and if you don't like the product, you talk to the person, and the person explains to you why you need to link your wallet. You get, and if you don't trust us, you trust the person. You know that kind of transfer of trust and all.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So word of mouth is the best. In fact, we still want to incentivize our referral program to make sure more people keep pushing the product. Currently, we've seen one of some our users refer as high as 30 referrals. One has close to 70 referrals. We
Okay,
want to see where we can replicate that kind of dedication across users.
yeah, sure.
we have 1,000 of our user our community. We believe it's achievable. You just have to have the right incentive to make it do that.
Okay. Okay. Um, okay. The next question I wanted to ask would be, how do you handle the technical complexity of Solana while keeping UX simple?
Yeah,
And we wanted to know what happens behind the scene. What does the process of getting the cash for the user looks like?
yeah. It's not easy. I'm not going to lie. But if you understand the product very well, like very very well, you can innovate around existing solutions. You get the good thing is Solana provides account abstraction, so a lot of things are decoupled here from paying of gas pay
Okay.
to how you execute. So that helps me personally a lot.
Okay.
So I'm riding on that. It's just for me to um should I say structure things a little bit to make them work. So so it's somewhat easy if you know what you're doing,
Okay.
but it's not that easy to implement. Yeah.
Yeah. So the what happens what happens behind the scene is it kind of like a process where when the user deposits the money in the Topash cash, the money uses what is it called again? Delegated
Okay. 1 minute. I can answer this question. Let me just pick an order downstairs.
okay, sure, sure.
Yeah. Hello.
Okay,
So
okay.
I'm back.
Yeah, I'm here.
Very sorry. Yeah.
No
So
problem. No problem.
what happened in the back end is this. We use a wallet. Yeah.
Hmm.
We'll be make, soon we'll be making it to a multi-sig wallet for more security. Yeah. But what happens is there's a wallet that serves as a pool, and then anytime money is transferred into it, thanks to Helios webhook that listens for transaction on any wallet you want,
Okay.
and then we get notified. Yeah, once we get notified, we broadcast the message to our merchants, and the merchant comes online and settles the transaction. Yeah, so that's what we do mainly. So we also use Jupiter so that anytime transaction comes in, once it's not a USDC transaction, we convert it straight up to USDC. That way, um, merchant only keeps track of one currency, which is USDC. You get, so irrespective of any meme coin or whatever, it just gets normalized into USDC. That's the way we try to keep things slim, straight to the point.
Nice, 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 nice. So, what partnership or integrations have been most valuable to this your particular user adoption, and who are like your key partners that are essential to your
Uh,
business model currently?
we're not heavy on partnership right now, but we're working towards that. We want to provide a usable product before we partner. You
What
get,
of the
yeah.
integrations that you've made? I know
Well,
you've
well
mentioned uh,
integration has the Helios has been really helpful with that their
webhook.
um, webhook, yeah,
Yeah,
and then Jupiter. We can boast of handling almost any transaction you provide to us, and that's thanks to Jupiter. You get.
yeah,
So there's some tokens that's not on the liquidity is not on Jupiter. That one we can't do magic at the moment. We don't want to start over engineering that. So, but any common token you get, we just work you get by default. So we just
okay,
send in any token. So some people they have just scrub. I remember when somebody reached out was texting me yesterday and the day before yesterday. He said all his money was into different where he staked, and he needed money so badly. So what he just did was just close his account and took the rent money, which is usually in Su, transferred it. I think he got that is less than $2 you get.
mm-hmm.
But being able to do that, you get
Mm-hmm.
it's only our platform you can think of that you can say, oh, you just take $2 and throw it straight from your wallet straight to the pool you get
Yeah.
and you get money. So we just want to be there for those kind of our users. So Jupiter provide that stuff for us. Helios provide that web for us. Those are the two essential products we
Yeah,
use on our platform. Yeah.
that's awesome. So, how do you price your product actually? How do you price your product? Is
Uh,
like
what we try to yeah.
do you
Oh
collect from fees? Like,
yeah.
is it in transactions fees or subscription? What's the pricing model?
We are still very open to our business model, but at the moment we charge 0.5% on every transaction you get.
Okay.
Any whether it's $1, whether it's $1,000, we just charge 0.5. But what we do to compensate for that is we make sure we give you the best rate you get. So what we found out is even with that charging 0.5, our rate is our rate is better. Even if you remove that 0.5, our rate, like if you remove, how do I explain it? Even if you add the 0.5 um, deduction you get, our
Yeah.
rate is still better than a couple of other folks' rates. So that's one of the reasons why we say, okay, what we're going to do is find the best rates in the market and then charge 0.5%. You get.
Yeah.
Times go on, we understand the different users we have and see where and adjust where need be. Yeah.
So okay. So um, what constraints so far in terms of regulation, finance, and technical constraints that has shaped your product decision? Like, what are
Um,
your biggest operational costs and challenges in these particular areas?
in finance, it has taught us to use our tongue to count our teeth because we don't have all the funds to build with. You get, you
Okay.
can't just throw money randomly. So you've been very decisive on where to spend and where to cut.
Okay.
expenses.
Uh-huh.
So technical wise, I'm very lucky that I'm technical. You get. I wonder how non-technical founders go about building. Sometimes when I hit some kind of roadblock, I just imagine like those who are not technical, like how do they go about it? You get.
Okay.
There are some things that I initiate that okay, it's going to start this way, but due to the way the technology is structured, I have to like go the other way. So every time I keep asking myself how non-technical founders do it, but I'm just lucky I'm knowledgeable in this space, and so no matter how the problem wants to come, you get, I always have a way to navigate around it.
Yeah.
You get,
Yeah.
yeah. So, yeah. So
Okay, I think that's awesome. So, in a week, what do you guys normally do that makes Pascal seamless for the user? So, like, I know, for example, you guys have said the off ramping is very important, where you guys to convert the money to merchants on a daily
yes.
basis. Is there any other activity that you guys do in a week that is needed for Pascal to be optimal and running?
Okay, we are trying to integrate with banking services to make transaction faster. I believe that would our users will appreciate that. We're bringing on ramping as well. Yeah, and then we are trying to also expose our APIs so that more businesses. That's where the real collaboration will happen, so that more businesses can use our service.
Okay.
That's me. It's here.
So I know that you've made Bash Cash to be very very optimized in such that it is quite feasible for users. So my question is now, how do you this your optimization? How do you optimize it for usability while you still ensure the security of the platform? So while you are making it usable, how do you um also make it secure for both for you and for your users? That's like what that's the approach to the technical structure. Yeah.
For now, mostly it's me being careful with what I commit and the kind of program I run on my system locally. You get,
Okay.
you don't want to compromise yourself. Once you compromise, system is compromised to a very large extent. And I'm also trying to be careful with how I commit keys and how I manage keys. Yeah, though there are very few keys to manage. You get,
Okay.
like I said, sometimes about security is not whether you be hacked or not. The one important thing about security is to reduce impact whenever any compromise happens. You get, that's one of the reasons why we avoided using wallets. If let's say the text will get hacked, nobody gets like your private wallet never gets hacked. You get,
Okay.
so yeah. So it's for us it's about reducing possible impact. Once we reduce that, then the next thing is to eliminate possible chance of impact you get.
Okay.
So it's going to be a process that we keep on reducing chances until I think at some point I have to hand over those kind of operations to experts that are better than myself in security.
Yeah. I think
Mm.
that's an awesome approach. So what usage pattern
Yeah.
on your app that has surprised you the most? Let's say, for example, you thought that the user is supposed to use the product this way, but at the end of the day, you notice that people were using it for something else than what it was intended.
Okay. One funny pattern, I spoke with Harry about it
Okay.
yesterday. Which day do you think we will have the most activity where users convert token more to Naira?
I think it will be Monday or Saturday or Sunday. I don't know. One of those days.
Okay. Yeah, that's what me I thought at first. But
Okay.
funny thing, on Mondays we have the least, yeah, of rounds. Then the day we have the most is on Thursdays.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. That's my exactly that's the expression everybody
Why?
uses.
Why? Thursday is like middle of the week. It's not like there's a party or like there's a weekend or I don't know, guy. It's confusing. But
Okay.
well,
So the assumption when I spoke with Harry, the assumption is we pay Super Team pays most of their payments on Thursdays.
Okay.
Yeah. So since most of our users are from super teams, so it could be possible that when people get paid or airdrop or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
on Thursday that's where the magic happens. You get
Hmm.
so weekends we have high volumes, but Thursday beats every other day, like significantly. But it was just yesterday for some reason on Thursday we usually have like 60, 65 transactions. Regular days we have 50 transactions. Mondays we have 40 transactions.
Okay.
But for some reason it's yesterday we had 110 transactions. So yesterday was we don't know what happened. In
But
fact, I went to the Telegram group and asked if there was airdrop yesterday. There was, but a lot of people didn't qualify for that particular airdrop, so it was not.
the airdrop
It's
actually.
yeah, it's not enough reason for us to have. So maybe over time we'll be understanding user
Yeah.
behaviors and
Okay.
maybe to guide us on how to build the next product.
Yeah. So, what would you tell a Silicon Valley founder actually trying to build a similar product in Nigeria? And what would you take like an advice for them? Like, what do you think that they might get wrong about the Nigerian market?
Um, the Nigerian market, first of all, yeah, you have to build for consumer, the Nigerian consumer. You get to understand what the Nigerian consumer needs before you build. You get
Yeah.
first of all, customers are customers across the globe. You get any
Okay.
product, the same Facebook that works in the US work in Nigeria. You get,
Okay.
but you have to understand that the US market have always had more spending power than our local markets.
Okay.
You get, so you're not expecting to build $1 billion company out of the Nigerian market, but you can build a product that works from the Nigerian market, like users will use it. You get,
Okay.
yeah. So the problem I usually have with most founders is they build things that the Nigerians don't really need or can't really afford, and start complaining that Nigerians are not using it. You see somebody build um, you see somebody build for example, I was building the real estate app and I noticed that Nigeria we don't have enough money to spend on savings. You get, that's why I said, okay, you know what, let me take a break small and evaluate this thing properly. And apart from that, the Nigerian real estate market is not mature enough to expose to the global market. That's why I said, okay, I need to pause on this first. You
Yeah.
get,
I
so
feel
you
like
have to understand
yeah. Go
that
ahead. Go ahead.
market.
Go ahead.
Is it?
I said go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. I wanted to say
You need to
something, but
Yeah, you need to
yeah.
understand.
Okay.
And any industry or market you want to influence, you need to understand it very well before you throw your heart into it. It's not about slapping crude applications on health tech,
Okay.
health tech, whatever tech. You have to understand it, have like some domain knowledge. You don't, even if you didn't study that in school, you can pick up books. Like my next set of books I want to buy, like 2 or 3 books I want to buy on both um, migrant economy and communities. I need to understand how diaspora folks function and how they relate, like how the economy around diaspora folks operate before I start saying, oh, um, I want to build like a remittance layer on top of what I'm building. When you build from a place of knowledge, you definitely build what people will really want, as compared to codifying every single thing that looks like an idea in your head.
Exactly. I think that's one approach we most people, not only Silicon Valley founders, most some Nigerian founders in Web3 normally experience. Well, I think that's a very good take. So
Yeah.
I wanted to know what's one design decision you've made that you think every other Web3 product or founder should copy? And how do you also balance your local optimization with a global ambition? So, like the second part is actually saying, how do you continue building part cash with the eye towards expanding these your services to maybe other countries in Africa or maybe other countries in
Mm.
the world, while you still maintain your local um, um, feasibility actually?
Okay. First is me. I believe if I kill the Nigerian market well, like if I address the problem well, the same solution would be appreciated globally. You get, I'm not building. The Nigerian market is not in isolation. You get,
Yeah, sure.
yeah, and then if my goal is to build like off ramp on ramp across the globe, like different countries.
Okay.
Yeah, and then um, and then and then integrate with existing products. You get, if I scaled in Nigeria, I can scale anywhere in the globe. That's the ambition. You get,
Yeah.
and the first question was what exactly?
The first question was, so what is it? What's one design decision that you've made that you think every other Web3 product should copy?
Okay, build just for me personally. I believe in building just one single feature. Yeah, let the feature be the product. Instead of building a product that does this, does that, I believe in building something that one thing first that is very simple and build it very well. That it's difficult for someone. You don't want people to know you as what that app, especially when you're starting as that app that does this, does that, and does this. I when OP came out, we all know OP as the app for
Payment.
getting. No, when it came out first, it's the ride hailing app. I don't. When I was in Enugu, that's when it came out. It's even in Lagos here. So it came out as just one thing first. Yeah, before people started buying airtime on it, doing other things and other things. So as a product, you want to do one thing first. You don't want to do this, do that, do that, do that. The more options you put on your platform, yeah, it provides more utility and retention. But there's this thing where people want to place a particular thing behind your name. And if you do that over time, if you want to expand, good. But doing one feature and doing it very well, optimizing around it, I believe is the best way to go around building.
Yeah, I think so too. So the next question is, what's the biggest misconception global Web3 builders have about African users? And how do you think this constraint lead to you having a better product market fit?
This one is so annoying because people keep doing it and blame Africa for everything, thinking that we are one people that live on top of this. It's so annoying.
Okay.
Any small thing says Bitcoin will solve everything. Nobody needs Bitcoin in Africa. You get,
Yeah.
almost nobody needs Bitcoin in Africa. Um, you don't people don't understand how the local economy in Africa works. You get,
Okay.
and every time they keep slapping foreign ideas on us and force us to use products. For example, yeah, if you go to some rural or some village, yeah, you
Okay.
see someone who has hectares of land and he does not have up to 100,000 in his bank account. Some don't even have bank accounts. You get,
Okay.
value in Africa is stored in physical properties, in infrastructures, in lands. You get, it's not necessarily stored in bonds and all those foreign those concepts. You get,
Uh-huh.
it's not that way now. It's not going to be that way in the next. It might not be that way in the next 100 years. Any technology you're bringing into the market, especially for most folks, it should be how those immobile assets can become, like
Mobile.
how can these people who don't spend more than $3 in a day, how can they be part of the global economy? You get,
Yeah,
like,
sure.
yeah, are you trying? I don't know if most of these people. I don't know if they're trying to tell, let's say, a farmer to sell his land and buy Bitcoin. It will never work. You get.
Yeah.
So introducing Africans to more coin will not work. What Africans need is participating more in the global space.
Yeah, like how do they how can they save their money better? How can they be able to make transaction?
Better. There's already the global demand, like there's already the global economy of yam. How can the yam farmer in Benue be part of it? It's not nothing concerned that nigga with yam. Sorry, nothing concerned that nigga with Bitcoin and
Exactly.
Solana and whatever.
I think that okay.
Web3 has promised the whole global integration. Bring it to Africans. Stop bringing another new shitcoin or another altcoin to us. We don't need that.
That's true. Okay, so what do you see? Where do you see like Pashcash in the next 2 years, and what new user behaviors and use cases are you trying to unlock within that period of time?
We will. I think we'll be in more countries. Not. I think we're already working towards being in more countries.
Okay.
We want to be in all the countries that Solana loves. You get that's where we want to start from. You
Okay.
get so yeah. We want to be like the default complementary service when it comes to cash on Solana. It's left for builders in the space to do with whatever they want to do with that protocol. You get
Okay.
that makes it easy to move money here and there. You get um, we believe if we do things like that, we can bring more utility to people in the space. The more people integrate us, maybe down the line we might be able to offer loans or expand our protocol so that other people can offer loans. You get to users who use patch. You get
Yeah.
I don't know to what extent you get. I think if a product hits the best perfect market fit when the customer gets to decide how they
Yeah.
really want to use it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ours is just to build like the simplest and the easiest product
Yeah.
out there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, my question I want to ask is, if you could redesign how the DeFi ecosystem would work from the
Mm.
scratch, what's
Yeah.
one particular thing you would do differently based on your local experience?
Um, First of all, yeah,
Okay.
a lot of device solutions does not even need to exist in the first place.
Are you
Yeah.
serious? Are you serious?
Yes. Yeah. A lot. Like a lot. They don't need to exist. First, a lot of people are just copying each other. You get.
That's
Yeah.
true. There's a lot of copy and paste nowadays. I
Copy
agree
and
with you.
paste and trying to sound smart on top basic. First of all, I'll first of all fix the grammar. I'll not even fix the tech itself. First of all, fix the grammar. Make it easy. You're saving money. You're doing piggyverse. Why are you giving us a new terminology for that? Um, um, next would be if a lot of this DeFi that existed built on Solana, yeah, with the current what Solana offers, it would have been much easier, especially with account abstraction.
Okay.
Eh, Those they are PDAs. PDAs did those solve a lot of problem.
Okay.
Kind of make kind of make things should I say easier for devs. You get that
Yeah.
way you can ship with a lot of security, whereby the assets lives in different accounts and not inside a central smart contract.
Yes.
So
Like we have is on Solidity where everything has to live in a center smart contract.
yeah,
So
exactly. That's a big compromise.
yeah.
That DeFi suffered a lot. And Solana did suffer a own compromise too, you get. Well, there's been a lot of improvements I wish exist.
Yeah.
So the major thing would be people should use simple grammar in the DeFi space. That would encourage more people to participate, you get,
Yeah.
in the whole thing. Yeah. Yeah.
So my last question is: so far, do you have any metric that shows that you guys have been um, in a more of a market fit, like how many users you have, how many transactions you've made so far, so that we can be able to like push on this metric to show how successful
Okay.
the product has been so far. I know you.
Okay.
Okay, I know you mentioned about 1,010. I mean, I don't really know, but
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
just go ahead.
Thousand. Yeah. We've processed. I'm just checking our database now.
Okay,
I think we've processed 4,853 transactions so far.
4,853
853
transactions.
transactions.
Okay.
Yeah. We've currently processed on Monday, last week Monday, we hit 100,000 transactions here.
Mm-hmm.
So it
Hundred
took
thousand transactions.
us. We launched January. We didn't pick off until early second quarter, like first month of the second quarter. That was we picked up April, and most of our it's like let's say like 80, I mean 90% of our transaction of this 100K happened from April till last week Monday. That was when we hit 100K, and between Monday and now we've hit 13K,
Transac-
13,000.
Transactions.
Yeah, so in a month, in a week, we've hit 10% of what it took us three 3 months to hit. So there's been steady progress, and we've been doing that with a small concentration of users, 8,100 users. So there's high retention. It's That's mostly what you're focused on. See, our next marketing, which will focus on acquiring new users.
Yeah, that's like
So I'll try
the
yeah.
V2. That's like the
So
V2,
right,
right? I said that's like the
yeah,
V2. I said that's like the V2 till when V2 is launched.
yeah, that's when it gets launched. Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
is there anything you want to tell other founders? Any information you want to share with them before we go? Any?
Okay. The main thing is for founders to focus more on building. Yeah,
Okay.
more like you can't really tell when success comes. You get the
Okay.
best you can do is showing up every day and keep on building. You get
Exactly.
success comes at its own time. Even me, I'm still trying to be successful, but I won't be successful if I don't show up every day. You get
Yeah.
so. What
Show
I
up.
tell founder, don't worry, don't give yourself a deadline with success. Just keep showing up every day, and then the right things will happen.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Toshi. It was fun and also very interactive speaking with you. I feel like you are very chilled to speak with, especially when I met you at Sato Village in person. It was
Yeah,
it was awesome speaking with you then, and it's also awesome speaking with you now. I really appreciate you for coming and having the
yeah.
time to even spend extra time with us. Also, help me and thank Harry that sorry that I stole his host from him. Right? Yeah, just
He
help
said,
me. Okay, okay,
yeah,
okay, okay.
we
So,
should, we should, and
okay,
thanks a lot, man.
thank you for coming. I appreciate, and
Yeah,
probably we'll do this again next time.
yeah,
Thanks.
sure, sure. Yeah,
Thank you
bye.
very much. Bye. So this is me, Marvin, and we are in the last call in the super founders meet and greet call, and I really appreciate everybody who have come to this conversation. Thank you, and we'll meet again in the next one. Thanks.